Welcome into the CHGO Blackhawks podcast. I'm Jay Zawoski with Greg Boyson and Mario Tirabassi. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. Before we get started, make sure you smash that like button for us on YouTube. Make sure you're following that YouTube page. Make sure if you're a podcast listener, you are following us on your preferred podcast apps. And leave us a 5-star review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. That would go a long way in helping us out. And it's free, and it takes 10 seconds. So open up your podcast app and do that for us. We would greatly appreciate that. A couple things to get to today. We've got some season predictions made by The Athletic that have some Blackhawks ties to them. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about a little bit of news regarding Patrick Kane. Looks like he's not going to make his decision until the season's underway. We're going to start the show with that. But before we do, we want to tell you about an awesome event we have coming up on August 25th. It is the CHGO Kickoff Classic Golf Outing at Cog Hill, golf course number 2. I am just stunned Cog Hill is accepting rabble like us to play on their course. But hey,
number 2.
Let's take advantage while we can. CHGO and the Big Drive Energy Podcast and Pins and Aces are hosting the inaugural Kickoff Classic Golf Tournament. Again, Cog Hill Golf Course number 2 at 9 a.m. on August 25th. You can sign up as an individual, twosome, or a foursome. Diehards, you get a promo code. Email events@allcitynetwork.com to get your Diehard promo code. But here's what your entry includes. 18 holes with a cart, exclusive Pins and Aces tee gift for every player, access to a limited edition Pins and Aces CHGO Polo, hole contest, great giveaways and prizes for contest holes, winning teams, and the last place team. You get lunch, you get drinks, and a ceremony after the round. Individual hole and tournament sponsorships are also available. Hit us up, allchgo.com for info. And again, diehards, you're going to want to email events@allcitynetwork.com to get your promo code to save on this event. But whether you're a diehard or not, it's going to be a great time. We're all going to be out there enjoying the sunshine, hopefully, enjoying some beverages and enjoying some golf. It's going to be a great day to be at Cog Hill.
I have a question. Are we going to know the prizes for the winners and last place team ahead of time? Because
I don't know.
If we know the prizes for the last place team, could we potentially run into a tank standings situation in which a golf group knows they're not going to win, so they just blast it all over the course to purposely do last place?
Should I start doing tank spins now?
If you haven't made your Tankathon replica website yet, Steven, what are you doing with your summer?
I think even if a team tries to suck, they will not be as bad as I am.
Okay.
Even if they're trying to,
sounds like a challenge.
If they start hitting the ball backwards, they might be about as bad as I am.
If they force me to golf, my team will be the last place team. There's no doubt.
Yeah,
I'm talking like 150.
There, Windy City Hockey said he signed up for it last night. Sweet. And make sure when you sign up, you click down on that menu and say, hey, we're your favorite show.
Yeah.
Because we want to win that. That's important. And we've got Corey saying happy Bacon Day. What a jersey up front and center. Charlie the Bacon Guy is here. He's over there. He won't come on screen. He's shy. But he brought in a ton of bacon.
Not shy with his meat.
The French toast bacon today. The ranch bacon and the Jardiniere bacon and the chorizo bacon jam.
Yeah,
it
was quite the jam.
I think most people here like bacon. I'm going to give Charlie a free plug. If you want to order some, follow him on Instagram at Charlie the Bacon Guy or shoot him an email, charliethebaconguy@gmail.com, and get some Kraft bacon, the best you will have ever had. And keep an eye on our social media pages for some cool videos about our bacon visit from our bacon angel.
Yeah. If we are a little sluggish today, blame the load of bacon that is we're all digesting right now.
It was
good.
Delicious. I like the science of like, how do you come up with French toast bacon? How do you do that? Well, Charlie figured it out, and it was gone quick.
We're spitballing some ideas for future bacons as well.
Yes, I do think I had the idea of shawarma bacon. So, yes, I'm waiting for that.
That's a good idea.
That could be good. Listen, I am going to use my new close friendship with our guy Charlie to prove the fact that bacon goes with anything.
It does.
Bacon makes everything better.
Like,
of course.
Name a food that if you don't add bacon, or that if you add bacon to it, it doesn't automatically get improved.
You can't. It's impossible. Your head will explode.
I'm actually trying to think of something.
Yeah.
Can't.
I was going to say like Cheerios, but no.
I would
of course,
totally put bacon in my Cheerios.
You're definitely gonna have bacon with Cheerios.
Yeah, Honey Nut Cheerio bacon. I'm
This is
down.
the best way to apple cinnamon Cheerio bacon.
See, look at the ideas are flying, Charlie.
All of it. All of it.
Apple cinnamon bacon?
Yeah, why not?
That could be a thing.
That could be a great. That would be a great fall
apple
treat.
pie bacon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, the ideas are just flying out.
This is gonna be the entire hour. Screw Patrick Kane.
He's writing all those down right now.
Yes, good.
Yeah, he's taking notes.
He's getting out the Chris Jericho.
Tired of
scroll.
talking about Patrick Kane not being able to make up his mind again. Let's just talk about bacon.
Well, all right, let's get into it. So ESPN.com today, Greg Wyshynski wrote about this, and he had a conversation with Kane and Taves' agent, Pat Brisson. And basically what Patrick Kane's going to do, and I guess when you're a first ballot Hall of Famer, 3-time Cup champion, a Hart Trophy winner, a Conn Smythe Trophy winner,
And a brat.
you can kind of do this.
I love the Patrick Kane smear campaign now.
He's going to wait and see how
Tired
the
of it.
season
Screw him.
goes and then kind of pick his team from there.
Yeah, I mean his hip is, and the rehab from the hip resurfacing is probably dictating a little bit of that decision. But I mean, if you've checked out social media since he's had the surgery, he's already working out in a capacity in which, if you had, remember when we described what a hip resurfacing was and we
Yeah.
all cringed?
Unpleasant.
Yeah,
My hip hurts just thinking about the details.
to go through that, and then it was like 2 weeks later he's like shooting pucks, from stationary, but like to be able to do that, like that's really impressive. So his initial timetable for return was somewhere between October and December. The ESPN article said he might wait all the way until December to see what teams are shaking out as actual contenders or not. I think it's smart. Why force yourself to come back from the rehab earlier than necessary? And why potentially do it with a team that maybe by Christmas or like Thanksgiving, Christmas, the New Year, maybe isn't going in the direction that you might have expected. It's entirely possible that Patrick Kane chooses a free agency destination and things either outside of his control or because of him don't go well, and then you're playing from behind. And like we mentioned with our discussion about Jonathan Toews yesterday was, the grace that those guys had in Chicago. Kane experienced it in New York. He didn't have that grace.
None.
So you go to a new team, and if things aren't going well and you're part of it, you don't have that grace. So, yeah, why not let the season play out a little bit, give yourself the full rehab period of time, and then there's going to be teams looking for his services. The list will probably diminish because of cap reasons.
Yeah,
But
see, that's
why
where I'm
not?
at.
Yeah, it can be smart, but could also be detrimental to where maybe the team he wants to play for can't afford him when he's ready.
Yeah.
Maybe the list dwindles down. That's why I didn't understand this move, because if you're going to go out and sign Patrick Kane, you're signing Patrick Kane for what he does in March, April, and May, and June. You're not signing him for what he does in October and November anyway.
Yeah.
So sign him now in the offseason. You know he's going to come back. You never doubt Patrick Kane. That's the one thing you don't do,
Right.
is doubt him. And, he's got a little bit of a chip on his shoulder now, so he's going to want to come back full strength to prove people wrong. He loves proving people wrong.
Yeah.
So, I don't know how many teams right now can do it. I have two theories that we can get into. But to me, again, it's like, I don't want to make a decision. Like, dude, just I'm so tired. I'm so tired of talking about where's Patrick Kane's going to play next. I don't care anymore.
Yeah,
I don't.
I think it's interesting, and the point of, okay, he already has maybe a handful of teams he's interested in playing for, right? And then maybe there's half of those can actually afford to maybe consider bringing him in. And then what if he waits till December and 2 of those 3 teams slip out of contention? Then he's dealing with realistically one team he wants. And Brisson was sort of asked about that, and he said there's no rush. This is one thing I'm very comfortable with. I'm very calm. You could offer me a 1-year deal or a 2-year deal right now at $7 million or so. I don't even know if I want to entertain it because it's not what he needs. We'll see at the right time how he feels, where he's at, and then we'll take it from there. You're telling me that if someone offered Patrick Kane right now a 2-year deal with a $7 million hit, they wouldn't take it?
I mean, to a guy that's made generational wealth, is it about the money, or is it about going to a place where you get one more chance at lifting a Stanley Cup for the fourth time?
I think it's both.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe he's. I can't envisioning him signing for $2 million to go win.
No,
a cup.
but maybe not 7.
Right.
But I think he thinks that there's going to be a bidding war for like 2015 Patrick Kane, 2013 Patrick Kane. He's not that guy anymore.
No.
Hasn't been. Maybe
know
with the new hip, he's going to be closer to that guy, but he's still not that guy. And if a team is waiting for Patrick Kane to put them over the top, by the time December rolls around, they're probably not going to be one of those top teams.
Yeah, to me it feels risky for Kane. I mean,
there's risk. There's risk in both signing now, and there's risk. More risk for the team in signing him now, because what if he has a setback?
Right.
What if all season we kept hearing, "Oh, Gabe Landeskog's going to start skating in 2 weeks.
Right,
2 weeks.
right.
2 weeks. Oh no, he's never coming back. He died. R.I.P." So. There's that. So knowing when you sign him, he's going to be able to at least, start training, get ready. Who knows how long it's going to take him to get in the game action once he signs. But again, as I said, you're not bringing in Patrick Kane to be your top guy. You're bringing him in to be your final piece, and you're just going to make sure he's at full speed come March, come April, when those games really, really matter.
And that should be doable.
You would think.
We'll see. And it's funny, a couple of people are saying in the chat, including Buck Wilder and Chadwick Berry, just saying Buffalo. And
of course,
as much as we've joked about that in the past, that sort of does make a lot of sense.
Makes sense now.
Like to bring him in as the fortifying piece, they're going to be right there in the playoff picture. And maybe that's specifically what he's waiting for. Were the Sabres a flash in the pan last year? Because is Tage Thompson going to have another year like he did last year?
Right.
Maybe, but that was a huge year for him. Alex Tuck had a huge year. They all did. So maybe he waits till December to see if the Sabres are for real. And if they are, you don't have to worry about his dad who doesn't fly or any of those things, right?
Right.
The answer is right there. He gets to play in his hometown for a team that's contending. And the Buffalo Sabres with Patrick Kane, if they're anything like they were last year, that's a contender.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good, maybe not a cup contender,
it's a playoff
but a
team.
playoff contender and a playoff
that's
team
a
for
solid
sure.
playoff team.
Yeah.
And they should be a playoff team even without him this year. I think I'm looking at, a couple teams here that have basically done everything that they need to in free agency and have some cap wiggle room. If he doesn't want to, if he, what Brisson said about not taking a $7 million deal because he wants to find the right situation, I can understand that from the competitor side of things, wanting to be able to go to the best team available given the cap space. Let's say it's 5.5 he takes, right? There's two teams that I think are inclined and in position to maybe do something like that. And I don't think it's the two teams that you're going to name.
Okay.
We named one, Buffalo. I think right now they're at 23 contracts with $6.7 million in cap space. They can send somebody down, finagle some things to make that work if that's a route that they want to go. The other team I'm looking at is where another former Blackhawk and a really good friend of Patrick Kane on the ice just recently landed, Detroit.
Ooh,
like
that would be worse than Chelios going to the Red Wings.
Right.
Hawks
I know,
fans.
but
I kind of want to see it.
They got
just to see the reaction.
They have one contract to figure out left, and that's Joe Veleno's RFA status, which I believe he's going to arbitration. That's not going to be that much money. They currently have 8.1 in change million in space. I mean, for a team that wants to go for it, and with the roster that they've put together, you put Patrick Kane back with Alex DeBrincat with what Detroit has. We'd all hate it, but to me, it makes a lot of sense for what Detroit's trying to do.
And I'll say this too, and I know a lot of Hawks fans will bristle at this, but hockey is better when Detroit is relevant.
Not anymore. Not that you're in the Eastern Conference.
I think anytime there's an original six team that's
the
competitive
NHL
and
benefits from the original six being relevant.
And I still think the last time the NHL was considered popular was the Red Wings' heyday. And I think a lot of people from our generation remember, Detroit, Colorado, and those series and all the star power those Red Wings have. I don't know if that's died down yet nationally. I mean, you look at the Chicago Bulls. It's like they're living off the ghost of Jordan 20-something years later,
Still,
right?
yeah.
The Red Wings are kind of doing the same thing with the ghosts of Yzerman and Lidstrom and Fedorov and all those great players they had for so long, and Zetterberg and Datsuk. Like, they were great forever. So I think having them be relevant again would be a good thing. I think adding Patrick Kane would spice up the Hawks rivalry a little bit, because he would look forward to those games, and I know the Hawks would look forward to those games more. I don't know. It would be cool. It would be really painful for Hawks fans, but I'm at the point now where the Hawks have won 3 Stanley Cups, and I no longer deem the Red Wings as a threat to my happiness like I did as a youth.
You only play them twice a year.
So go nuts.
It's not 8 games.
I'd rather see him there than St. Louis or Nashville.
Having Connor Bedard in a Blackhawks uniform makes looking at Patrick Kane in a Red Wings uniform.
It eases the pain.
It's kind of more like, meh, okay, cool, have fun.
It's Neosporin.
Yeah. Here's my 2 possible landing spots. One of them would be the Carolina Hurricanes. They tried to sign Vladimir Tarasenko, and then that didn't happen. It still may happen. They have to clear some cap space, though, but there's been a lot of talk that they're shopping Brett Pesce, which would free up $4 million and give them about $6.5 million of cap space. So
they're
they
also potentially getting Erik Karlsson.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I don't understand why you would trade away Brett Pesce to get Erik Karlsson.
No.
Erik Karlsson's not going to have another 100-point season.
And Karlsson Burns together didn't work in San Jose, so why would it work in Carolina?
Yeah, so I don't know. But that's a team that I could think he fits their style of play. But here's what's going to happen. They've already planted the seeds for it, and I kept telling you guys, I don't know, for some reason, I'm thinking he's going to wind up in Vegas. What did they tell you about Mark Stone right after the Stanley Cup final?
Oh, yeah.
He's going to be in and out of the lineup for the rest of his career.
Yeah.
So Mark Stone plays the first 20 games of the year, goes on LTIR with a bad back. They sign Patrick Kane. Mark Stone returns for the playoffs, and the hockey world just goes absolutely crazy that they're manipulating the salary cap.
Yeah.
Oh, they can print up some T-shirts like Tampa.
Hey, that's fine. Tampa did it. The Blackhawks did it in 2015 when
Everybody
Patrick Kane got hurt.
If you don't want a loophole to be exploited, don't have the loophole.
It's not a loophole. The salary cap doesn't exist in the playoffs.
Right, yeah.
It's not. They're not breaking a rule. They're taking advantage of a situation. Any good general manager takes advantage of what he's allowed to do within the rules.
And if you've built a team up good enough where you can sit Mark Stone for 60 games and still be okay,
yeah.
Good for you, right? You've done your job.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
we'd finally get to see Eichel and Kane together.
That's my prediction. Mark Stone goes on LTIR right after Thanksgiving. December 1st.
Too much turkey.
Patrick Kane
is
back out. Las Vegas Golden Knight.
Yeah. Well, hey, if Corey Perry is any indication, your predictions are pretty solid.
I got one right.
Live on it. Just retire.
Hey, how many coaches and GMs have lived off of one Stanley Cup for 30 years?
This is true.
You can live off of one Corey Perry prediction.
I'm the John Tortorella of predictions.
Yeah, I've been living off my Lewis University degree now for 22 years.
There you go.
Smooth as
what a transition there.
Smooth as glass.
Loved it.
Students just like you with full-time jobs, families, and full-time sports fandoms are going back to school to earn a respected degree, still respected, even though I have one, from Lewis University. It's 35 miles southwest of Chicago in Romeoville and is ranked as one of U.S. News and World Report's top-tier colleges. Lewis partners with numerous employers for tuition discounts and offers evening, online, and blended formats to help you balance work, family, and education. Their faculty brings real-world experience and instruction to the classroom, which is immediately relevant to your career. We offer career support and academic resources for adult students, and I can say we, because I, too, am a Lewis Flyer. Lewis offers several career-focused programs that will set you up for success. They've got the Criminal Justice Public Safety Grad Program, Data Science, Computer Science, Cyber Security. By the way, on that one, Lewis is a Department of Homeland Security Center of Academic Excellence in Cybersecurity, providing students with scholarship funding not available elsewhere. They also have Business Analytics, Finance, MBA, Project Management, just Go there, lewisu.edu/you can do this. Check out everything they have to offer and discover how a degree from Lewis can help you build a better world. Again, that's lewisu.edu/you can do this.
Yeah. Love that. You know what goes together with college?
Bacon.
Bacon
Correct.
goes together with everything.
We've already had that discussion.
Yes.
Beer and weed.
Beer and weed. Yesterday we talked about beer. Today we'll talk about weed.
Woohoo!
Specifically, the Sunnyside Cannabis Dispensary. Sunnyside is your home for judgment-free cannabis shopping, a place where all kinds of visitors are welcome to explore, discover, and purchase a wide array of high-quality products. Sunnyside has everything you need to elevate your summer. One-stop shop for all of your cannabis needs, no matter where you are on your cannabis journey. Easy online ordering and in-store pickup. Great transparent loyalty programs. That is called the Sunnyside Rewards Program. It is Illinois' favorite dispensary, from the city to the suburbs, Wrigleyville to River North, Champaign to South Beloit. And how can you argue against all of these great brands that Sunnyside provides? You got Mindy's, the best tasting gummy and chocolate edibles created by James Beard Award-winning chef Mindy Siegel and Cresco Labs. Speaking of Cresco, they got the reliably excellent cannabis from Cresco. Consistent quality, experience, and availability of flower, vapes, concentrates, and pre-rolls. You got the High Supply, which offers quality weed that's always available. Buds are expertly grown, lab tested, and available in vape carts, vape pens, flower, popcorn, shake, pre-rolls, shorties, and concentrates. And that's just some of the brands that Sunnyside provides to all of the cannabis needs that you have. Through August, head to sunnyside.shop and use promo code CHGO at checkout, and you're going to get 25% off of your total order. One use per customer, not stackable with other promotions. That's not only for new customers. Anyone can use the code. Pick up everything you need to elevate your summer. Again, at the Sunnyside Cannabis Dispensary. Must be 21 plus or an Illinois medical card holder.
Oof.
Yeah.
Bacon, weed, beer.
It's a great afternoon.
Man,
I need a nap.
those Mindy's are highly recommended, by the way.
Nice.
All right, so today, The Athletic, they published their way too early predictions for the NHL 2023-24 season. That's their headline, not mine. So this was put together by The Athletic staff. Of course, they've got Stanley Cup champion, runner-up, the dark horse teams, biggest disappointment, President's Trophy winner, on and on and on. So I know you guys have seen this, so we'll just do the positive ones first. Their percent of vote for the Stanley Cup champion, Carolina Hurricanes, 45.2% of the Athletics NHL staff picked the Hurricanes to win the Cup. The next closest is Colorado at 16.1%.
Wow.
Boy, the Hurricanes have the sports writers by the nuts like Bruce Springsteen or Jason Isbell do.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like, no one loves the Hurricanes like hockey writers.
Yeah, I mean,
Ben Pope doesn't even work for the Athletic.
that's true. I mean, man, it reminds me of like 10 years ago when everyone said, well, this is the Capitals' year. This is the Capitals' year. This is the Capitals' year. And it was just year after year after year of disappointment. And the Hurricanes they're built differently, obviously. And they've had really sustained success over the last number of years. They've just never gotten over that hump. And they have a lot of really solid players. They just don't have that, like, X-factor, difference-making superstar player.
Till they get Patrick Kane.
Well, yeah, that's potentially. But it's just like they're just right there. I just don't know if they have the it factor to have that deep, sustained run. And their goaltending situation is part of that reason. Like, you have three good goalies, but, like, none of them are great. You can only play one at a time, and they all are injury prone.
Well, that's the big thing with them too. Like they were pretty banged up in the playoffs this year too.
Yeah, I think a lot of it has to probably be going on the fact that they got to just within a couple of wins of the Stanley Cup final without Svechnikov.
Right.
If they had him in that series, the Eastern Conference final, that might be a different series.
Yeah, for sure.
They might have been able to give Florida a better series there. I mean, yeah, that was a 4-game sweep, right?
Yeah.
but they were all like 1-goal games and multiple overtime games. So like Carolina was right there.
Yeah.
And had they had Max Pacioretty for the postseason like they had planned to, you had Svechnikov and Max Pacioretty.
So on your offense, you're counting on that for a significant portion of your offense.
Yeah, that might have been a 4-0 sweep the other way because those were all 1-goal games. They
Yeah.
all could. There were essentially three overtime games. The last game was won in the final seconds.
Yeah.
So that's probably what's based on. But you're right. Everybody, and I'm guilty of that too. I picked them to go to I picked them to win it last year.
They're not a bad pick. It's just
I think it's the thing is it's like with the Capitals. If you just keep picking them every year, one year you're finally going to be right. Like,
Exactly.
Yeah. The year you doubt it
Yeah.
is when they do it.
I
yeah.
mean, if you look at the East, there's going to be some teams that were there last year taking a step back. Like, the Bruins aren't going to, well, I mean, they were a first-round loss, but they're not going to have that type of record again.
No.
Especially the fact that they bring in nothing but old guys to replace other old guys.
Right. How much do you trust Linus Ullmark and Jeremy Swayman to do exactly
they're
what
not
they did
doing
last
that
year?
again. No. So that's a team taking a step backwards. The Panthers still have a lot of pieces coming back, but after that kind of run, maybe they stumble out of the gate again. And then they got a battle as an 8 seed. The Rangers were overhyped last year. They went out and, they had that Eastern Conference final run 2 years ago, but that was a lot to do with their goaltender standing on his head. And, he played still pretty good, but not as good. And their stars disappeared after the first 2 games of that series. They're overrated. They're not going to be. What have they done this offseason that makes you go, ooh, watch out for the Rangers?
Blake Wheeler, but
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Bring in a 38-year-old Peen that got kicked out of a locker room when he was captain.
yeah.
That's going to work well.
So we told you Hurricanes are the favorites. Colorado is second. Rounding it out, is Dallas, Edmonton, Vegas, New Jersey, L.A.
Don't sleep on the Devils.
6.5% picked them to win a cup.
Yeah.
So then there's runners-up. Carolina, again, the favorite to be runner-up.
So they're the favorite to win and also be runner-up?
So 22.6%.
There you go.
They're going to the Cup final.
Colorado second, Edmonton, New Jersey, Dallas, Toronto, the Rangers, and Golden Knights.
Toronto.
So there you go.
Come on.
Any guesses on dark
waste
horse
of a
teams? Unless
Devils?
you've already
What do
looked.
they consider that?
Yeah, what's a dark horse?
Let's see how they define it.
They
Must have plus 2,000 or worse odds to win the cup.
Yeah, Devils?
Devils are not there.
Devils
The
not there.
Kings are the favorite, 38.7.
the
Buffalo?
Flames.
The Flames, 6.5. So it goes Kings, Kraken, Sabres, Senators,
Kraken.
Penguins,
Yeah.
Flames, Blues.
Yeah, the Kraken,
All right.
man, they might shock a lot of people.
Now this next
could
list
see
is
it.
going to delight Greg. Biggest disappointments.
Nah.
Who do they think are going to be the biggest disappointments? Must have odds better than plus 2,000 to win the cup. So these are teams with odds better than plus 2,000 to win.
Well, Toronto, that's what they do.
Of course.
They disappoint.
Yes,
they have
because
to be top.
their dopey fans still think they're going to do something. If you have no expectations, you can't be disappointed.
There you go.
Are
The
they the
Rangers
top
are going to
team?
be a major disappointment again because
They're second on the list,
They're
yep.
overhyped and overrated. So
Is it Carolina biggest disappointment?
Carolina's not there. It's Boston
Yeah.
first, the Rangers, the Panthers, the Lightning, which I agree with, Toronto, Edmonton, Vegas. I think the Tampa thing is
They
like
could-
2017 Blackhawks time. for
Yeah, they
them.
could start running out of steam, which would be great because the Blackhawks have their first round pick this year.
Yes, that
Yeah.
would be wonderful.
I would not be sad if is that pick protected?
Like top 10.
Top 10, I believe, is top 10 protected.
Is it?
All right. I knew it was
We'll
for this
check that.
past season. I didn't know if they were both top 10 protected.
I don't know. That's a good question.
I will check. Yes, top 10 protected.
Okay, so we need them to miss the playoffs.
Miss the playoffs, but be like 15th.
Yeah, be the last team to not make the playoffs. And, give us the 16th overall pick.
That'd be great.
Or do what you did last year and just get eliminated in the first round and give us 19 again. That worked out.
That worked
Rather
pretty
Worked
good.
out well.
Yeah, that
I'll
was
take
so
another
good.
Oliver Moore caliber player.
Yeah, so
You got Oliver Moore, Taylor Radish, and Boris Kachuk for Brandon Hagel.
So far.
And another first coming.
Yeah.
not bad.
It's not bad.
So, and we all like Brandon Hagel, and they like Brandon Hagel, but first round exits is not why you gave up 2 first round picks to get them.
Sometimes trades work for both teams.
Sometimes they do.
That's right. That's the idea. President's Trophy winner. Don't think too hard. It is hockey writers
It's going to be
after
the
all.
Carolina Hurricanes.
Carolina
That's
Hurricanes,
right.
yes.
Carolina
Hurricanes are apparently going 82-0 in the regular season and 16-0 in the Stanley Cup.
But also finishing as runner-ups,
But
too.
yeah, they're gonna be so good. They're gonna play against each other in the Stanley Cup final, so they can both win and lose the Cup
They're
final.
going to clone the Hurricanes.
Hurricanes, Avs, Devils, Oilers, Leafs, Knights, Stars, Rangers.
Okay.
Boy, these Rangers.
I mean,
fanboys,
it's pretty
Jesus.
consensus.
East Coast bias.
The top
Really?
teams are known.
Yeah, I mean it's hard to argue with any of those picks. I don't see anybody outside that group winning the President's Trophy.
No, I wouldn't think so.
Unless there's some sort of crazy one-off season
Yeah,
where, you get career years from a bunch of players all at once.
Connor Bedard scores 120 goals. Blackhawks win President's Trophy.
There you go.
Manifest.
All fueled by bacon.
Manifest. All right, now we're getting into the Blackhawks categories. Fewest points.
The bad
There they
stuff.
are.
The bad stuff. Nice.
I agree with who's going to be the worst team in hockey. I think it's the Sharks.
Sharks, yeah. Well, if they get rid of Carlson, they get worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even with him,
Even with him, they were in the top 5.
I'm not
for
worried about the
drafting.
Sharks. Sharks, Coyotes, Flyers, then the Hawks at 4th, Anaheim, Montreal, Ottawa. Boy, Ottawa was ready to make that turn last year, weren't they?
Yeah.
Well, then their bad GM'd it.
Yeah. It's hard to argue against the Blackhawks finishing in the bottom 5, but I'll say I don't think that they have a team that's going to be in the bottom 5. I really don't. I think Connor Bedard, the expectations for what he can do will be pretty impressive for a rookie. We're going to talk a little bit more about him later, but I think the group that they have together, I think you have Luke Richardson now, 2nd year as a head coach. I don't think you have the managerial mentality from the front office to make the team as bad as possible. You don't have the sell-off pieces of Max Domi and Patrick Kane this year. You don't have the Jake McCabe and Sam Lafferty to get rid of. You don't really have many impactful pieces that you're going to be looking to get rid of in February and March. So I think this team, if 2 guys hit their strides this year, Lucas Reichel and Connor Bedard, I think you're going to have a team that's not a playoff contender, but I don't think they're bottom 5.
I also think, I think you can count on Bedard being good. I think Reichel taking the next step, especially if he ends up spending some time with Bedard, which we think he probably will, either on a power play or 5-on-5. At some point, they're going to be on the same line.
Yeah.
And there's going to be somebody else, too, who has a bit of a jump just because they're in a better and more advantageous role, right? Like maybe Philip Kurashev in a 3rd-line role or 2nd-line role can get a little more consistent offense because he's not one of the only main threats out there on the ice all the time.
Yeah.
So there's a couple guys like that. Radish, I think, Athanasiou a little bit as he moves up and down the lineup. Like there are some possibilities for some better offensive seasons. Now, you lose Kane, you lose Taves, you lose McCabe, you lose, Lafferty, all these guys were pretty decent contributors last year, but you add in Perry and Foligno and Donato. We barely talk about Ryan Donato, who's a good player too, and Taylor Hall and Connor Bedard and a full year of Reichel. I think this team's better than last year's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Deeper, that's for sure.
Taylor Hall is one of those guys that, like you mentioned, is up for a better season. I think he's definitely in that category. He had 36 points last year in 61 games, playing just under 16 minutes a night. I think he's going to get more than 16 minutes per game, 18 plus. He'll get power play opportunities. He'll be paired with Connor Bedard. I think he's poised to have a bounce back here. He's still got that talent to be able to do it.
Yeah, I don't think they'll be bottom 3. I think they'll be in the bottom. They'll be in the 5 to 7 range.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Because there's still, the goaltending is still shaky. You're going to have some questions and possible holes in the defense. Some young guys stepping up their first full NHL seasons and will
Learning
have some
curve
struggles.
mistakes.
Yeah, you're still going to put Zaitsev out there some nights and Tenorti out there some nights. Those guys have their weaknesses. And then it's Arvid Soderblom and Peter Mrazek as your last line of defense.
We'll see.
But I don't really know who's going to be joining the conversation as worst teams. Definitely the Sharks.
Yeah.
Definitely the Flyers. The Flyers are definitely going
Flyers are
for
tanking.
the Tanko Nation.
So is their PR staff.
Yes. So the Flyers will be there. I don't think the Ducks are going to be as bad as they were last year.
No.
Those young players are going to take another step. I
And
didn't think they were going to be that bad last year.
They weren't supposed to be.
They weren't supposed to be, so they got a new coach. Let's see what happens.
I think Arizona's going to be better than they were last year, too.
And we all thought Arizona was going to be worse than the Hawks last
Right.
year, and look what they did. And we talked yesterday, watch yesterday's show, about the moves they've made. Now, one of those players won't be there.
Yeah.
The Alex Galchenyuk thing is a little weird. They have terminated his contract and will not comment on it. The last time I checked on our buddy Craig Morgan, he says that all he has said is that the NHLPA will be looking into the matter. So if Craig Morgan doesn't know what's going on, nobody knows yet. That seemed to even catch him off guard.
Yeah.
When the tweet came out, he quote tweeted it with just whoa. So if it caught Craig, if it blindsided him, it came out of nowhere. So we'll wait and see. I mean, that's not going to make that much of a difference on their on-ice performance because, let's face it, Alex Galchenyuk is a fringe NHLer at this point. He's probably going to spend more time in Tucson than at the Mullet Arena.
Potentially, yeah.
So, but they've made some strides. You know, they got Jason Zucker. They got Sean Dursey. They've made some moves to bring in some decent players. They're going to be competitive. I don't think Montreal is going to be as bad.
No.
I'm sorry, you were going to say...
No, yeah. Greg Wyshynski a couple hours ago said an NHL source tells ESPN that the Coyotes had discovered an, quote, off-ice situation impacting Galchenyuk that was previously unknown to the team. That's very broad and sweeping.
It's got to be something recent because he was on their team recently. This is a guy they've had before, so it can't be something from 10 years ago.
And they just signed him, so you would have figured they would have done some.
So something has probably happened.
Discussions
in the last
and due diligence. Yeah,
week or so.
Something
that hasn't come to light yet.
Yeah. So hopefully it's not something that you can't come back from.
Follow if you want to stay up to breast on the news with that. Make sure you're following our pals at PHNX Coyotes, PD and Craig and Leah. They'll be the first to break that news when it comes. Trust me, nobody has got a better pulse on the all things Coyotes than our crew over there. But back to like the top five, I don't think Montreal is going to be bottom five. They've made some improvements. So. They've got if they're healthy, you get Caulfield for a full season. Kirby Doc.
Their forwards group is really good. Their defense
their
and
defense
their
and goalies is kind of
huge question marks. They're mid, as you loved to say yesterday.
Yeah, their defense and goalies are probably below mid. If they had mid defense and goalies, they might.
What is less than mid?
Shid.
Bad.
Shid? Yeah, they're shid.
And then we talked about Columbus. There's no way they're a bottom three team again this year.
If they play like they give a shit, they probably won't be.
Well, if they're healthy.
Yeah, that'll help too.
Adam Fantilli, not going to hurt you.
Fantilli, Goudreau, hope that Zach Rowinski is back to 100%. Got Mike Babcock leading the group.
Well, they'll be good until they start tuning him out.
Yeah.
So it depends on how many. Do they ride that way for the full season, or do they tune him out halfway through and say, I'm tired of this jackass yelling at us?
Is there a bet on DraftKings for when he wears out his welcome?
Was he ever welcomed, though? Don't you have to be welcomed
they
in order
hired
to wear
him.
it out?
They hired
management welcomed him. I don't know if the team has welcomed him.
Yeah, that's going to be a disaster. But
boy, that's a shame.
It's if I was a Columbus fan, I'd be frustrated with that big time because you are actually feeling good about your future. You've got some nice prospects, especially with Fantilli, and a roster that's better than it performed last year, and guys getting healthy. Year or two of Johnny Gaudreau where he feels a little more comfortable and settled, and now you got this Pud running things.
Well, don't forget, they also gave up a bunch to get Ivan Provorov, too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, so...
I mean, he's a good and effective player, but Pud.
Yeah, and not worth what Philly got back from him. That was amazing what Briere was able to do for that. And then pissed away all that good luck by retaining half of Kevin Hayes' salary for a 6th-round pick.
Nothing.
Yuck.
All right, next category from the Athletics, way too early predictions. First coach fired.
Mike Babcock. No, it's got to
No,
be John
it won't be.
Tortorella.
Tortorella,
John Tortorella
is the 4th candidate.
Oh, come on.
DJ Smith in Ottawa, Craig Berube second for
Yeah.
St. Louis, Rick Bowness in Winnipeg, then Tortorella. Then you got Sheldon Keefe, David Quinn, Dean Evison, and Lane Lambert. Sheldon Keefe, to me, move him up that list.
Yeah.
If the Leafs get off to like a slowish start, let's say they're like
He's
4-5 or something like
yeah,
that.
If they get off to a slow start, he's out.
Yeah.
It's the easiest change that they can make.
I still can't
Besides-
believe they brought him back.
Well, yeah. I mean, for obvious reasons that organization needs some change, they got rid of the guy who had one arm tied behind his back to run the organization, and not
So nothing's
the
gonna
players on the ice
Yeah.
and the coach behind the bench. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I agree. If they have a subpar record through 10, 15, 20 games, he's going to be gone.
And I think if the Maple Leaf players no longer want to play for him, they will make it known in October.
Sure.
They will make it known and say, nope, we're not going to win any games until you get rid of this ass clown.
Yep.
And then they'll bring in Joel Quenneville and everything will be great.
Yeah.
There you go.
And if the reports are true, the fact that you kept Sheldon Keefe prevented you from bringing back Ryan O'Reilly.
That's a bad decision.
And then you fire him 9 games into the season.
Yeah.
That's just it's on brand for the Maple Leafs.
Yeah, that's leafing it up. That's for sure. All right, next one is the Calder Trophy for Rookie of the Year, and I think we all know
I don't
who
know how this isn't
won this
unanimous.
vote.
Because
Two
Toronto-
players received votes. Connor Bedard got 96.8% of the vote. Do you guys know who had 3.2%?
I do. I looked at
Yeah,
it.
I saw
Matthew Nyes from Toronto, of course, is going to have a better
Had to
rookie
be
season than
James
Connor Bedard.
Myrtle had to be the clown that voted for his
Yeah,
precious
I'm sure.
precious Matthew Knees. Piss off. What are you smoking? Put down the Homer pipe. Come on,
Yeah.
man. There's no way Matthew Knees has a better season than Connor Bedard, unless Connor Bedard plays 5 games.
Yeah, I was going to say the only way that happens is if there's some reason that he doesn't play all 82.
Yeah.
Not-
Even if he plays 70, he's still going to have a better season.
I would imagine.
Like,
so.
come on, man. Stop being a homer.
It's a hot take that look how smart I'm going to be.
No, you look
Yeah.
like a jackass.
That's a few years ago. I said, "Oh, Casey Middlestat might win the Calder," and he scored like 6 points in his rookie year. I thought I was being smart. No, I was being
Sometimes
stupid.
the obvious answer is
Pick Austin Matthews next time.
It's obvious for a reason.
yeah. I mean, I get it. I'm the guy that likes to go against the trends, and I don't like everything that everybody else likes. But when it's something like this, come on, man.
Yeah.
It's okay to be part of the herd.
Yeah,
When you're
exactly.
dealing with a player like this.
Yeah, Connor McDavid would have won the Rookie of the Year award had he not been injured.
Yeah.
Like that's the last case where I can think of a slam dunk should be unanimous rookie not doing what they're expected.
Brendan Morrison that hit him, or Brendan Manning
That hit him?
That broke his collarbone that rookie year.
It was somebody who eventually went to the Oilers.
Yeah,
was it
Morris-
Manning?
It was Manning or Morrison. I always get those guys confused.
Brandon Davidson.
Davidson.
One of them. There was a
It was
Blackhawk
the guy
for a
that
little
played
bit.
for the Hawks, and
yeah,
then they traded him to Edmonton because then it was like,
That's
ooh.
Brandon Manning.
Brandon
Brandon
Manning.
Manning,
I
yeah.
believe that's who it was.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's who it was. When he was with Philly, he injured him, signed with the Hawks, and then the Hawks traded him to Edmonton. So
Yeah.
Connor McDavid had to be teammates with the guy that broke his collarbone.
Brandon Manning, one-time Blackhawks best defenseman.
Ugh.
That one game, yes. For that one shift, he was the best defenseman on the ice.
Yeah. No, it's
That's one of those Joel Quenneville, he who shall not be named clashes
Yeah.
where I need toughness. All right. Here's Brandon Manning. Here's your stay-at-home defenseman.
he was.
He
that
once
wa-
killed Connor McDavid.
Wasn't
Have
it
fun.
Manning,
It was
Kunitz, and Ward?
that was
that the
Manning,
same year?
Kunitz, and Ward. That was the big July 1.
Because Q wanted a veteran goaltender, a veteran scorer, leader,
Yeah.
and a stay-at-home physical defenseman. So you got
Yep.
100-year-old Chris Kunitz, 100-year-old Cam Ward, and bad Brandon Manning.
Yup. And that 2017.
Chris Kunitz hasn't left yet.
The
he's
middle
still- he's
there
still
from
hanging
he who
around.
shall not
still,
be named.
He's still got his sleeping bag in the Fifth
Yeah.
Third Arena. It just crashes there.
76 points that season.
Our next category is the Vezina. Pretty predictable names on here. Ilya Sorokin, the favorite, 51.6%. Shesterkin, second,
won it this year.
16.1. Ottinger, Georgiev, Vasilevsky, Hellebuck, Korpisalo, Saros. Now, if Hellebuck gets traded,
Bucks on the Devils, look out.
Yeah.
I might put some money down on him right now. Just in hope and wish that he gets traded.
Even if
and
he
goes
doesn't
to a
get traded,
contender.
he's going to be a finalist. He's
should
been
be.
a finalist almost every year.
I just
in
feel like
Winnipeg.
narratives do impact the way the media votes on things sometimes.
And
I think-
getting him on the East Coast will definitely get more eyes.
Yeah, but I also think Winnipeg's name right now is a little bit toxic for people, and they're like, they don't want to vote for anything Jets because of how bad it's been there.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Well, I also think
if you're picking goalies out, if you could just start a team and pick a goalie, that might be the guy I pick.
I'd go Ottinger if you're starting a dynasty. But
Yeah,
if you
he's
want
younger. Yeah.
one solid season from a goalie,
for
he's,
one game or-
he's in
yeah.
that discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for
he's
sure.
in there. I don't know if he's my first pick, but he's in the team picture for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, like you said, if him and the Devils become a pair, that'd be great value if you're putting some money down on it.
Yeah, I think you get him on a team that can score regularly, and he doesn't have to. There's how many nights in Winnipeg did he give up that second goal and the game was over?
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, getting him on a team like that where he doesn't have to be the main factor in a win, he'll get more wins. He'll be looser and more relaxed. Be fun. I want to see it happen. I like
Yeah.
the Devils, and I think
I'm down.
That makes them going from being an up and coming team to these guys are for real quick.
Yeah. All right, we got two more categories to go, the Norris and the Hart. But first, Greg is going to tell you how to keep your eyeballs from melting out of your head.
Wear some Shady Rays. Next.
All right, good done. Well done.
Beautiful.
Shady Rays. They're our favorite sunglasses company in the entire world. And they have you covered for the warm weather that is upon us with their premium polarized shades that come at a very affordable price. Shady Rays is an independent sunglasses company that offers world-class product that's just as good as any expensive pair we've ever worn, but I say better. Their durable frames and extremely clear optics are perfect for all your outdoor adventures. That's not all. Shady Rays offers the most insane protection of all of eyewear. Every pair of sunglasses is backed by lost and broken replacements. If you lose or break your pair, even on day one, they're going to send you a brand new pair, no questions asked. I believe really soon, it was our guy Charlie, who's got his Shady Rays on his head, got his brand new pair in like 2 days. So not only are you going to get them, you're going to get them quickly. And together with their customers, Shady Rays is providing much needed support to nonprofit partners across the United States through Shady Rays Impact. From building play sets for pediatric cancer patients to providing young adults with MS, the outdoor adventure of a lifetime, Shady Rays is making an impact in your community and others like it now and for years to come. And if you don't love your Shady Rays, but unless you're a complete weirdo, you're going to. You can exchange them for a new pair or return them for free within 30 days. There is no risk when you shop. And exclusively for our listeners, that's you guys out there in podcast land, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the season. You can go to shadyrays.com and use the promo code CHGO at checkout, and you're going to get 50% off 2 or more pairs of their amazing sunglasses that have been rated 5 stars by over 250,000 people.
That's a lot of people.
Including at least 6 of us sitting
250,000.
here right now.
That's a lot. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of stars, and those stars create energy, but we have not learned how to harness the energy of the stars yet. So for now, we're going to depend on electricity. And the ComEd Energy Efficiency Program is committed to helping families and businesses in the communities they serve by helping manage energy usage and lower energy bills now and into the future.
Harnessing the power of the stars. Wasn't that the Ultimate Warrior's job to try and do that?
I think so.
Yeah.
Now he's dead.
Well, R.I.P.
Too much power.
All right,
Without
PMP.
the Ultimate Warrior, that's where ComEd steps up. They offer a wide variety of incentives on lighting and other efficiency upgrades to commercial, industrial, and public sector customers of all sizes across their territory. ComEd also offers free facility assessments that can help find energy-saving opportunities, like for HVAC systems, commercial kitchen equipment, and industrial processes.
How does that work, Mario?
I'll tell you, Jay. An authorized engineer will work with you to develop a detailed assessment plan specific to your goals and needs. These can be done in person or virtually and last approximately 2 hours. Within 3 to 4 weeks, customers will receive a report detailing energy efficiency projects that they can start working on immediately. Each recommendation will include estimated savings, cost savings, project costs, potential incentives, and simple payback. So if you own a business, like Charlie does, don't wait. Get started saving money and energy, also known as Monergy, today. For energy-saving tips, lighting incentives, or to schedule your free facility assessment, go to comed.com/poweringbiz.
Write that down, Charlie. comed.com/poweringbiz.
Yes, do it. Schedule your appointments today.
Get those bacon smokers more efficient.
Finally, someone we know with industrial kitchen equipment.
Exactly.
It finally works.
Manifested it.
Exactly.
I wasn't trying to purposely ignore you, Greg, during your Shady Rays read, but I was listening to a little snippet from our friends at PHNX. Craig talked a little bit about...
I thought those were the voices in my head. Thanks for clearing that up.
Yeah, you're
That was
welcome. Craig talked a little bit about the Galchenyuk situation, so just wanted to add to that conversation from the sources of PHNX. Apparently, it is some off-ice issues that have continuously followed Galchenyuk throughout his career. Craig, to paraphrase his words, said he's a very nice guy, kind of even, good to work with, kind of even awkward sometimes in conversations. Talented player, but for whatever reason, off the ice has continued to make poor decisions, and that has, again, come up in his time in Arizona, thus the move to terminate his contract 12 days after signing him.
But they've already had him, and if
That-
this is
yeah,
something
see,
that
that's-
is
that doesn't
continuously
track.
happen, then why would you sign him in the first place?
Right.
That's a good question.
Like, because
Something
obviously then they
doesn't add up
knew
here.
if we're talking about some sort of anxiety thing, or even if it's like a drug or alcohol addiction thing, those are not things you just flat cut a guy for either.
No, you put them in the
You put them in the
league
program.
and they
Yes.
they-
Bobby
you know,
Ryan, yeah.
yeah. You become the good guy going here. We're gonna help you get the help you need, and when you're healthy,
if that's
we've got
what
a
it
spot
is.
for you.
Yeah.
But if it's repeated, I don't want to speculate, but if it's repeated legal, right? Let's say he gets in bar fights or he slaps so and so around, right, when he gets home from work, whatever. Don't know. Again, obviously, that's different. That's not if that's been an issue his whole career, whatever that would be. You don't resign him.
Yeah, you've had it. He was
There's,
just there.
there's something missing.
Yeah.
So either it had been a little problem and it became a big one all of a sudden. Like, oh, there's been rumors of this. Like, oh my God, now this happened.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know. It's weird. Something doesn't add up.
No.
For them to just be like, we're cutting him and we will not talk about it.
Yeah.
That to me indicates some sort of
They screwed up. And they know
anger. Well, they screwed up, but they're also pissed about it. Because
Yeah,
either
I
he
wonder-
lied to them or hid something or
I
whatever.
wonder if there's some non-public contractual something that maybe it was just like, hey, you gotta, if you're with us under contract with us, you gotta do certain things, and he maybe 12 days in violated that, and they're like, all right, no tolerance.
But not saying anything and saying you're not saying anything, just it's not a good look.
Yeah.
Because then it leads
just
to
leads to speculation.
rampant speculation.
It leads to this,
Which is never
where
good.
we
Yeah.
don't know, but we spitball.
mean,
Yeah,
It-
just
there's
to be
potential
clear,
problems.
we don't know anything.
we have no.
Yeah.
And we don't know anything about Galchenyuk either.
No.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, clip
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But I mean, this has got to be a reason besides his underwhelming performance on the ice why he's been on almost every NHL team to this point in his career.
He's great for puck doku.
I mean, he's pretty much fits every column.
Yeah, really.
I mean, this is a guy that was the 3rd overall pick in 2012. That's something we should look back. Is being drafted 3rd overall like the most cursed spot
That's
in the
Kirby
history
Doc.
of any draft?
That's a
Kirby
good
Doc,
question.
Cam Barker.
That was a big one.
The
Who was the other guy?
wait,
Was
wait,
was it?
Was Duran
The Cam
3rd
Barker
overall?
draft was
It was
it Malkin, Ovechkin, Barker?
yeah, a little bit of a drop off there.
Jesus.
Little bit of a drop off.
Come on.
2 insanely good Hall of Famers and Cam Effin Barker.
Can you?
All right, here's the
But
history.
tell me more about how great of a GM Dale Talon was.
It was just
Here we
Steven
go.
just pulled up all-time third overall picks. Fantilli, Cooley, McTavish, so far so good on that list. It looks like Stutzel, Kirby Doc, Kokoniemi.
It's the Canadians. They can't help drafting shitty players at number 3 overall.
Well,
Kokoniemi's not shitty, but he's not worth 3rd overall.
Two of the best 3rd overall selections in NHL history: Dennis Savard, Jonathan Toews.
Leon Draisaitl, I'll add him to that list too.
Yeah, but you got
He
Dylan
was
Strome,
there,
and that fine player, not worth there.
Henrik Sedin.
All right, so maybe I'm wrong. Mac Duchene,
Well, but it just
Marion
shows you though, like,
Bogosian.
but for a third overall pick,
Scott Niedermayer.
that's a pretty big drop off in talent. Like there are some, of course, like really like studs in that group.
Jack Johnson was a third overall pick.
Yeah.
There's Cam Barker,
J. Bo Meester.
Yeah, I mean
Nathan Horton.
Alexander Svitov, not so much.
Pierre-Luc Dubois.
All right, it's not the most.
It's
It's not
hit
the
or
most
miss.
cursed, but there's you've
There's-
got it.
yeah.
There's been
Yeah.
as many busts as there have been Hall of Famers from that position.
Mhm.
Or
maybe more busts.
yeah, or I don't know. Maybe you wouldn't say
busts.
bust. You would just say not as good as expected.
More bacon.
All right, the last two categories here.
Oh, yeah. We got
In the athletic, we've got the Norris Trophy. Probably not a lot of
Cale
huge
Makar.
leaps on this one. Cale Makar, 74.2% of the vote.
Just pencil him in every year until he
Miro
retires.
Heiskanen, second, which
Yeah.
I like to see.
He's getting his reputation, and a lot of times Norris starts to be that's more the Selke is the reputation award, but the Norris, you get votes on your reputation.
Speaking of that, Adam
That was-
Fox, third
That
overall
was
in the standings.
was Doughty's thing, wasn't it? Like, oh, he's gonna earn one of these years.
Yeah, like it was like
And it was like, oh, we'll just give it to Drew Doughty
yeah,
this year.
you can kind of not. I'm not taking away anything from Roman Josi, but it was kind of like his. Like, well,
Yeah.
he's been really good for 10 years, so let's give him like a career achievement Norris Trophy
Yeah.
Right.
because he led all defensemen.
It's
in
the Karl
points.
Malone MVP.
Yeah, it's like, well, you've been second best for so long. We're gonna
We'll
make you.
throw you a
We're
bone.
going to throw you a
Yeah.
bone
No,
and really
but
piss off Jordan.
Adam Fox. I mean, I'd have him as one of the top
He's a Ranger. He's overrated.
5 to 7 defensemen in the league. He's in the conversation.
Meh.
Imagine if the Hurricanes never traded Adam Fox.
Yeah.
He was a second round draft pick by the
believe so.
Hurricanes.
Couldn't be. Only good
Well, he
only
wasn't
good players
third
come out of
overall.
the top two. No good players have ever been taken.
He wasn't
anywhere
third. He
besides
wasn't
that.
third overall,
Yeah.
so he's pretty good.
Charlie McAvoy and Rasmus Dahlin and rounded out that list. And then the Hart Trophy for MVP.
Connor Bedard.
He is no, Bedard is not on the list.
Well, it's a bad list. Though.
McDavid 80.6%.
Shocking.
Matthew Tkachuk 6.5. Cale Makar, Leon Draisaitl, Nathan McKinnon, and Sidney Crosby all at 3.2.
McDavid won it last year, so it's Leon Draisaitl's turn this
Yeah.
year.
Yep. They do have the Western Conference playoff field here. They're predicting Colorado, Dallas, Edmonton, Vegas, LA, Minnesota, Seattle, Calgary. With
So the same.
Who's the first team out?
Nashville.
Okay.
So basically the same 7 of the same
7 of
teams
the
that made it
same
last
8.
year.
Yeah.
Calgary being the only one. Does that mean Winnipeg?
Winnipeg's out. So they have Nashville, St. Louis, Vancouver, Winnipeg, Chicago, Anaheim, Arizona, San Jose.
And Chicago was the last, by those percentages, Chicago was the last team to get any votes
Any
to make
votes.
the playoffs.
They apparently, I think 3.2% indicates one vote.
Yeah.
They got one vote to make the playoffs.
Way to go, Scott Powers.
Yeah.
So Anaheim, Arizona, and San Jose all got
Thanks,
none.
Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not penciling in the Minnesota Wild just yet for a playoff spot. You know,
Yeah.
if their goalies are kind of meh.
But to be like the 7th team in the West, I can see that.
Yeah, like where they are pretty much every year.
Right.
I mean,
Mid.
They had a great run last year, and everybody thought when Kaprizov went down for like 3 weeks or whatever that their season was over. But that was their best stretch of hockey all season.
He's holding them back.
So
buy him
obviously they
out.
should
Trade
trade
him
him. Trade
to
him
the
to
Hawks.
Chicago.
Buy him
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
That's the route to go.
Yeah, buy him out. you got plenty of dead cap space available up there. I'm not penciling them in just yet. Calgary, I could see a bounce back here because if you know, just not having a coach that you all hate should make them better.
That's a start. Yeah.
Like they obviously played last year to do exactly what happened and get Daryl Sutter fired. Except the Flames were too dumb and stubborn to realize that and kept them the whole season. And now their GM is in Toronto, who may be too dumb and stubborn to do the same thing again this year.
Weird.
Yeah. So yeah, you guess would say the same 8 teams. That's the easy way. But who's really making that jump into the playoff? Maybe the Blues have a bounce back year if they get some goaltending
Maybe.
and fire their
I was
coach.
gonna say- I was gonna say,
I mean-
I was gonna say you're a bubble playoff team, but your coach is the second highest vote getter to get fired.
Well, maybe if you fire him early enough, you get to be a playoff team.
Maybe.
There you go. We'll see. Only a couple months to go until we can actually start watching games. Whee! But hey, you don't have to wait a couple months to join us at our CHGO Crosstown Series takeovers. CHGO Sports is taking over Guaranteed Rate Field and Wrigley Field
Somebody's got
for the 2023 Crosstown Series. Join the Sox and Cubs CHGO crews. Here's the information. July 26th, Cubs at White Sox at Guaranteed Rate Field, 7:10 p.m. There's a pregame meetup at 4 p.m. at the Carrig in Oak Forest. You'll be shuttled to and from Guaranteed Rate Field from there. And then August 16th, the game at Wrigley, Sox at Cubs, 7:05. Pregame meetup at 5:30 at a bar to be decided. So that should be a fun time.
Do we wait? Is it not called Bar TBD?
No.
Because I looked up Bar TBD in Chicago and something popped up. Is it not?
No, I believe they haven't determined what bar they're going to be beaten up at yet.
Mario was going to go to the wrong bar.
Yeah, I don't see bar. I see one in Phoenixville and Fairview Heights, Illinois.
No.
You're going to need a heck
Never
of a
mind.
shuttle.
Never mind. Something.
Bar
I'm
TBD.
going to open up a bar TBD in
It's a great
Richmond
name.
now.
You should.
TB Diddlers. Each ticket purchase comes with a new CHGO baseball shirt design, south side or north side. Choose your size at checkout and order confirmation. Let's see which fan base is more diehard and sells out the takeover first. Do it. AllCHGO.com to get your tickets. And, of course, if you're a diehard, which you should be by now, you're going to save 20% on that and all CHGO events and merch and everything. So do that. Jump in. Become a diehard. Help support us here and help save. Help yourself save on events and shirts and merch from the CHGO Locker and CHGO Sports. All right, we're going to be back tomorrow at 2 o'clock. It is Friday already. This week went fast.
It is Friday.
Hopefully the off season goes fast like this because I'm ready for some hockey.
What are we talking about tomorrow? Should we do a draft?
We'll see.
We'll draft something.
Yes, draft favorite flavors of bacon.
Friday.
Bacon flavors.
Bacon. There you go.
Bacon flavored bacon is the #1 overall draft pick.
There you go.
That's true.
And again, thanks to Charlie the Bacon Guy for bringing us some bacon today.
Buy some bacon from Charlie.
Yeah, do it. At Charlie the Bacon Guy on Instagram or email him charliethebaconguy@gmail.com. He will hook you up with bacon and bacon jams. They're all great. You can't go wrong. Get in touch with Charlie. But we'll talk to you tomorrow at 2. Thanks to Steven for running the show. Hit that like button on your way out on the CHGO Blackhawks podcast.